from a C-section. They're 2 hours old. They've already seen Mum once, and they get to see Mum again here in a couple of hours, about an hour and a half to get her feeding. Andresa says, Kit's so precious. She's breathing just like I did when I was pregnant. Yes. Yeah, she's breathing. So she's back here right now, sleeping, and she's not breathing like that anymore. So she is so much more comfortable to get those puppies out. So she's doing great. And then we'll do a video when we get home of her seeing her puppies for the second time. All right, let's have a look. Next question. How to fix dog hematoma? Someone says, John Adams says, great, this worked. How long should you leave the splint on the ear? Well, what you're going to find first off is that splint's is going to get unwrapped by the other puppies of Mum, and they're going to take it off themselves. And when it does, if it starts to fill back up with blood, you're going to have to drain it and put it back on again. So, at some point, if it doesn't start filling up with blood, you've got it done. If it does fill up with blood, put it back on. Simple as that.
A puppy did that?
No, I asked you about the dog hematoma.
Oh, I thought you said something about a puppy.
Crazy Dog Lady, Sky 1089. I wish I'd found your videos before my German Shepherd had her pups. She had 6 puppies, but only 3 are still alive. Oh dear. They are 6 days old. One was born with his intestines outside his body. Vet said a hernia could have burst. One was stillborn. He was the runt.
I definitely not use the same stud that you bred her to.
Yep.
Try a different stud. If you have the same problem, then it's her.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I think that's look. If your previous breeding was successful, you had a good time, Mum bounced back, do it again, maybe with the same stud. If you have problems, like the kind of problems you're going through here, then definitely if you're going to do it again, choose a different stud. It's not necessarily the stud's fault, it may be a combination of your girl and that stud. So don't go back to the stud owner and say, James said your stud's crap. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Sometimes they just don't mix well together.
Just a double recessive that's caused problems. There's other reasons as well, and I think I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's
too lengthy.
But you know, you need to think about other things. Brucellosis would cause puppies to die. Easy test, you should test your dog. CHV1 or canine herpes virus will cause puppies to be born and then die later on. So those are all things to check on. My American is in Santhra Superstairs Guard. My American Bully delivered her singleton pup naturally 4 days late, and Mum and Pup are doing great. I scheduled a C-section for the next day as the vet thought she could deliver without one, but she's a standard size. The heat tape I got from your store is working great. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying here. It sounds like you had a natural delivery and then you did a C-section. I'm a bit lost on what you're telling us. Sorry, didn't fully understand that. What is Honey says, what's your opinion on guardian homes? I don't know why, but I find this to be unethical. I figure that if you can't keep more than you currently have, do you... Okay. Well, I mean, so... It's each to their own on this. So, you know, why would a guardian home not be a good place for a dog? Well, you chose the guardian home incorrectly. Well, that's the downside to a guardian home. They're not vested in it like you are, and so consequently they don't have the love and respect for the animal that maybe they should. That's one argument, right? But if these people love the dogs like the way we love our dogs, for instance, you know, our daughter Chanel, we completely trust her with our dogs, and so she does do participate in whelping for us, and she does a wonderful job at it. Does a better job than probably we can do. So no qualms at all. Now, you know, if you're in a situation where you've got 20 dogs, you know, you've probably got too many dogs. I mean, you know, you're in it for obviously a financial reason. And I mean, I don't want to pretend like there's not a financial aspect to it for us. We've got 2 dogs in our house. Chanel has, how many French does Chanel have? 2? 2. And Lee, I think, now has 2.
Yes.
And Cody's probably got
4.
He's got 4. So, you know, these aren't large numbers of dogs.
No.
You know, So some people think
some people want to make like we have large.
Yeah, people want to say that we're that we're a puppy mill. We're not even remotely close to a puppy mill.
No, and our kids are in our house. I call them kids. Our females are in our house.
Yes, right. But so there's a limit to there's a limit, by the way, how many dogs you can have before you are considered to be a professional breeder.
Right.
And I think the number by the USDA is 10 or above 10, I believe, which is a lot of dogs. So, and of course there are places out there that have got 30, 40, 50 and 100 dogs. I mean, that's a whole completely different situation. I don't care for that myself. I don't care for the way those dogs are socialized. Doesn't mean that you can't get a dog from somebody like that. The dogs that you get at the puppy store, that's where they came from. I think all of them, probably 95% of them came from what I would call puppy mills.
Yeah.
So they're rather different.
Majority of them have.
I got a little puppy that's crying in here. Let's see what are you crying about, buddy?
His brother eating his ear.
Like this. Lily, you're a hero.
Okay.
Lily, you're a hero.
James, put it back in there.
I know, it just wanted some attention.
The one you took out earlier, so you've upset him. Leave him alone.
All right. Where are we with this? Oh, this one here. Mr. B, by what day does the PG test go below 3? Well, this is the misconception that one thinks that.
Wish we knew.
That's right.
Hindsight would be great.
Well, the only thing that I can tell you is when the PG level is less than 3, you're in a safe zone to take puppies. If you give me a PG level that's above 3, I cannot tell you how long you've got to go, nor can anybody else. People will tell you that they can, but they're wrong. The progesterone level on some dogs could be 16, and the next day it could be a 1. On some dogs it could be a 5, and the next day it's a 6. There you go. You can't predict any of that stuff. The only thing that you can say is PG level 3 or less, you're in a safe zone. Kathleen Rayner. I think she used us for breeding. Just sold my last 6-week puppies. Last of 6 puppies. All sold in 2 weeks. Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Mum has bounced back and jumping around like a puppy herself.
Yep.
My question is, should I breed her again back to back?
When they do that.
She's only a few years old. I intend to have her. Whoops! I intend to have her. Spay her although she's a natural. I mean, when you say natural, she's got a big mama.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a Chihuahua. Okay.
Oh.
She has natural birth any complications. Well, look. Yeah. So even Easton replied to says back to back isn't bad.
It depends on how big that Chihuahua is too.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what we're doing
There's all
here.
different reasons for.
So,
Yeah.
we've got a video that says unethical back-to-back breeding. I use the word unethical not because I say that this is unethical, but I wanted people to look at the video. That's why I use the word unethical.
Well, wait a minute. Let me say this. When we breed our females, we do 2 times in a row and give a break. If they don't bounce back, then we wait. We do 1 time, we wait, and breed again on the 3rd round. But, and then there's some people that do it all the time. So a vet will give you different answers every time.
Well, let's go into this in some detail because I think it's worth it.
We got something going on.
Yeah. So here is really Tammy and my take on this. So she said a little bit differently. Do you breed next time? Well, you make that decision when you are in a situation that Kathleen's in right now. You see how the litter went. Did you have any complications? When you opened Mum up, if it was a C-section, did she have adhesions? Were there any cysts in there? How was Mum with her babies? Did she bounce back to her regular weight and be a happy dog soon after the dogs were all weaned? Did you have fun with it? Was it a nightmare for you? Did you have a glut of dogs that you couldn't find homes for? You've got to ask all those questions, and if they all come back with positive answers, breed next time. If you didn't like the results, don't breed again or skip a cycle and see how that works for you.
Right.
So there's no one single answer that makes sense. It's all about getting all the information in, and at the end of the process, did you feel that you did a favor to your girl or not? Did you feel like you did a favor to yourself or not? Did you produce puppies that you were happy with and proud of? Those are the kind of questions to ask. So sometimes a dog can be bred back to back. Other times it's time for a break. Sometimes it's time to call it quits.
You should know your girl to be able to know that's good.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to the previous question about, you know, ethics.
Like what your vet will tell you too, you know.
Yeah. And so here's the other part about this. Should you listen to your vet? Well, certainly you should listen listen to everybody.
But also Google what your vet tells you to make sure that you agree with it. Because if you don't agree with it, Google it up and find out.
I agree. Anything that we tell you, anything that your vet tells you, anything that another breed tells you, take it all with a grain of salt. Because look, everybody has their agenda. Some people think that you should not be breeding dogs, and what you're doing is an absolute travesty, and you should be hung up from a yard arm until you're not breathing anymore. And some vets will take that opportunity to spare your dog and advise you not to breed the dog again, just because that's their philosophy. And that's their right. It doesn't mean you have to listen to it. On the other hand, some people will say, just keep on breeding that dog. Look what you produce. Just hammer away at it. We don't agree with that position either. So I think this is the kind of the golden rule.
I hate hearing you say hammer away at it.
Well, it's the golden rule, isn't it? What's the golden rule is treat other people the way you want to be treated, and that applies to your dogs too. So the golden rule is, you know, you want to. There's lots of reasons to do things, and so fundamentally, the things that you do have to leave the world a better place than what it was when you started. There, I'm on my rant. I'll stop now.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks for watching. And these little babies will be home soon. Tammy will absolutely be loving and kissing on them. I know that. Bye. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.